coming along to the true crime. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about Todd Mullis, Corn Rake Murder Trial, Day 3. He's trying to get his conviction overturned, so we're listening to what they say is new evidence or reasons why. We're on Day 3 of that. I'm still standing by what I have said for the last 3 days. I believe at the end of all this malarkey, he will be right where he is now. Okay? Monica, look at that. Look at that puss on her. Sementilli. I'm telling you, the people from the Ford dealership played her so good today. They were looking around for her because when she was in their dealership, you know, she was like the other Monica. And they're like, do you see her here today? And the guy is like, no, I don't see her. Like, where is she? And they're like, do you see this woman over here? And he's like, yeah, I see that woman over there, but that doesn't look like her. What if I told you that is her? Well, then I'd say she's changed a lot. Okay. Anyway, they both did it. And I don't think she was any too much. She was not pleased. She was not pleased. Okay. And then we're going to talk about some other headlines like this dad charged with negligent homicide in the shooting death of toddler's son. So, I think that's probably where we'll begin with the other headlines. And crime. Okay. All right, so hi, Gail B. Hi, Bucky Ann. Go over here. Uh-oh, what'd I do? W2 scooter check is over here, and 23 other people made it over here from the auction, so that's good. Now 34 are here. Thank you. So everybody's ushering in. Thank you very much for getting yourselves in here. It's much appreciated. All right, let's get going. I'm sorry, the one, I don't know what it is. It's like one of my sinuses is going crazy. All right. So let's get to this first story. Very sad. All of this stuff happening much too often. But this is a 3-year-old Arizona boy is dead, and his 23-year-old father has been charged in his death. South Tucson police responded to a call about a shooting on Wednesday morning. Later, police say the boy died, and Anthony Noriega was arrested and charged with negligent homicide and domestic violence endangerment. No details about the incident have been released, but police say that there were 2 crime scenes. The location right here is where the victim was brought for treatment, and the actual incident happened in a home right behind this location, said Police Commander Raul Navarro. Let's see if we can find out anything more about that. Yeah, very sad. So, I mean, there'll be more that's coming out. But yeah, sad stuff. I don't know what's... There was a woman gunned down in a parking lot in broad daylight. Apparently, she was part of a murder for hire plot. Isn't that crazy? All right, let's go to the... So with Todd Mullis, you know, it's just that they brought on, who was a deputy, I believe is the sheriff now, the Hummus guy, and just went over and over and over his stuff, and they were talking to him about like what was heard on that 911 call, and that, were you biased in that, and who were you calling, and I am telling you, with the Mullis thing, it's much ado about nothing. And the stands in there are just unbelievable, the stands. Oh my goodness. Look at this freaking Kevin Frankie. Are you kidding me? This guy, oh my gosh, he really skeeves me out. He should have been looking for his kids. He just let her take the kids. He just let all this stuff happen, and now he wants to act like Lily White in this. Are you kidding me? And now he's talking about how he's going to start dating? Oh my gosh, Kevin Frankie. Yeah, that's what you need, is a relationship. You know why? Because your other relationship was just so great. Maybe you should be with a real, counselor, therapist, something, and find out what the hell went wrong. Oh my gosh. Hold on, let me get a picture of this Frank Meister here. I don't understand. If anybody doesn't see that this guy freaking, I mean, he should be charged. How does anybody not see that? He's got his man purse on too. Okay. Yeah, I think you should be worried about your dating, right? That's what he's worried about. Not about his kids and all this stuff. And no, he's opening up, okay, to people. And in Hulu's new docuseries, Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Frankie, streaming on Thursday, February 27th. Okay, we'll watch that for sure. Kevin Frankie loved his wife, Ruby Frankie, so much he agreed to cut off all contact with her. Oh, boy, Kevin Frankie. Oh, listen to this guy. I'm sorry. This guy is a piece of work, and I don't mean in a good way. Kevin Frankie loved his wife, Ruby Frankie, so much that he agreed to cut off all contact with her and their 6 children for a year to improve their marriage. I want to give him a kick in the butt so bad. Are you kidding me? Kevin, who the hell buys this? Who buys that? Oh, you are something else. You're a coward. You're a fraud. Oh, Kevin Frankie, get out. But everything changed after Ruby, who rose to social media fame with her now defunct YouTube channel, 8 Passengers, about her wholesome life in Utah with Kevin and their children, pled guilty to felony child abuse involving 2 of her children. She was handed a sentence of up to 30 years in prison. Though Kevin says he still loves Ruby, he filed for divorce in 2023 and said, "As of today, I'm still working through the divorce. We're trying to reach a settlement. It's been a long process. Well over a year, but it's ongoing. We're close." Asked about dating, he says, "Well, of course it's something I think about, but I'm a man of my honor." Really? Where was your honor to your children? You're a man of nothing. You're a man of nothing. This guy, oh my gosh, this guy, I'm telling you, this guy, oh my gosh, when I think about how those kids were found and how they would be dead probably within a week, and this guy is here talking about dating and that he's a man of honor. Oh boy. And I'm still technically married, and so I'm holding off until the divorce is finalized. Oh my gosh, cut it out. When the time's right, that's something I think I'll look forward to pursuing. Okay, so in the documentary, Kevin, Chad, and the couple's oldest child, Sherry, open up to the director, Ollie Lambert, about their Mormon family rise to online stardom and wealth, accruing 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube and earning $100,000 a month at their peak. Ruby loved the fame and validation as America's mom, says Kevin, but her fans eventually turned on her, concerned by her strict parenting style. By her? What was your parenting style? Were you not right alongside of her, Kevin? I love how you're distancing yourself from this. In 2022, Ruby ended the channel, opting to team up with therapist Jody Hildebrandt for Moms of Truth podcast. That's when things soured for the entire family, who became drawn in by Hildebrandt and her unorthodox, controversial counseling methods. Hildebrandt is the one who told Ruby to ask Kevin and Chad, then 17, to move out. Living alone in a Provo apartment and riding his bike to school and work, Chad says, Hildebrandt had me break all of my friendships and relationships, and then eventually I was just by myself. Jody insisted that we subject ourselves to pain and discomfort, Kevin explains. Pain and discomfort is what would change us and make us stronger. Kevin is often asked why he went along with this. If it was day number 1 and Jody said, you're selfish, you need to go into separation and repent, I would have told her to take a hike, and I did. I did say that the first time I was introduced to Jody's program. Oh, you did? And then what happened? But Hildebrandt didn't start off so stridently. She gets her hooks into you and slowly begins to indoctrinate you. So when that was suggested to me after all of that indoctrinating and conditioning at the time, it seemed like, oh, you're right. Okay. No, Kevin. No, because Ruby didn't even allow you to buy, what was it, a donut or a cookie when you were coming back from a class, and she was so happy that she controlled you in that. Come on, Kevin. Stop it. This guy, I'm sorry, his kids would be dead if that boy didn't escape. There's no doubt about it. They were buying property. They would have been like the Vallow kids. That's where this was going. Give me a break, Kevin. Gosh, this guy is just, All right, I just can't. I get too worked up with this guy. He makes me nuts. Absolutely nuts. He makes me. I can't even. I'm going to go to Todd Mullis. Like I said today, they went through they're bringing in these doctors that are bringing like, oh, is this possible? It's the same kind of crap. To me, it's not even worth my breath to talk about it. It's not. It is crap. And the people in the chats are either writing to him, enamored by him. The other people are like myself that are like, who are these people in the chat? Where are they getting their information from? Where do they think this guy is going to walk free? It doesn't even matter if you want to argue about what was on that 911 call. If he didn't say, go to hell, you cheating whore. Okay? That's not going to change a thing. Okay? And then when you ask them, well, then who murdered Amy? Your son, Todd? Who murdered Amy then? You want us to think she fell on the rake 2 to 3 times? So, because there's only 2 different scenarios that it could be, right? They know it's not the guy she had the affair with. They know it's not his wife. They know there was no one else on the farm that day. It was just you and your son. So who did this, Todd? How did this happen? This is a bunch of BS. It is. And it's, I mean, I just listened to the questioning of the officer today. I think he is now a sheriff. He was a deputy at the time. But she's going over everything, just, oh, well, then didn't you call and talk about that call and you thought you had this big thing? Oh, yeah, and who was there? She's going on and on and on. Gets the doctors up there. Of course, they're paid huge bucks to sit there and say what could be possible. A lot of things could possibly happen. The probability of them happening is probably slim to none. But if you pay somebody enough, they'll get up there and say what you want them to say because they'll try to find some way to make it fit. That's all this is. So, yeah, they'll have day 4 tomorrow. I'm telling you, he is going to sit where he is sitting now. He's not going to get this overturned. He's not going to get a new trial. I'm just saying it. All right. And we'll see who's right? Okay. Now we're going to go to Monica Sementilli. And I'm going to tell you what we have for some of this, okay? I don't want that picture. I don't want that picture. I want another picture. Let's see. Let's do this one. All right. So let me go into my notes over here because I took them down electronically. I used to do that too because I filled up too many notebooks. So Ron Ray was still on the stand, okay? He's describing how they went to the Marrakesh and that Monica said she'd pay for everything and to order a cake for Robert Baker. It was his birthday. He said she was acting crazy like a 22-year-old. She was nonstop smoking, which really bothered him and his wife. So much so that he spoke to Robert about it. He said she was over-sexual. He said they were on the stage. They were like on this VIP thing. And she was like taking selfies and she wouldn't stop. And she was touching his crotch and she was dry humping him on a stage. And it was gross. And she was grabbing breasts at the strip club. And he said Monica wanted to go to a strip club. And so this guy, this Ron Ray, he was in Vegas. He has connections. Now, in these strip clubs, he's saying you've got to buy a bottle of liquor or something. It's $400 in order to get a table, plus, to get the in. So he got them in, and he told Monica, you don't have to do the $400 bottle. I've got connections here. You can have the table. Well, she insisted on, she was paying for the $400 bottle. So she did that. And then he said it was so embarrassing when she was there. She was humping him, she was grabbing him, she was touching the other dancers' breasts and things. Now, they don't go into it, but like these other couples, what you might surmise is they are swinger couples because they were into swinging. So, he just said it was so embarrassing, and they did leave early because she was crazy. And she did say that Rob makes her better. She also calls Rob baby. And she never mentioned her husband or being previously married or anything. The only thing she said was something like, my girl is going to love this. And that cued him in that she had a daughter. Now, he's known Rob since 2012. Are you close friends? He said yes and no. This is Ron Reagan. Was close when they lived in Vegas, but once Rob left, they only spoke about once every 6 months. Their contact was either through Facebook, phone, or WhatsApp, but mainly the phone. And they said, did Robert Baker come to your house after he left? No, he came twice, and once was with Monica. Let's see. There's text conversations where he talks about you guys were catching up with each other. Yes. Prior to that, you never met her, correct? Did he tell you she was a tenured college professor? And this guy said, yes, he did tell me that. And they said, well, during a police interview, is that when you realized that Robert Baker lied to you about the professor thing and it wasn't true? And he said, no. He said, my wife and I knew Robert Baker was lying to us when we were having lunch with them at P.F. Chang's. We realized there is no way this woman is a tenured professor, that it was a lie because of the way she was behaving. And then they said Robert Baker told you first that Monica was planning to buy him a house in Vegas. And he said that Monica said it. But when you saw Monica in May, she still had not purchased a house. Is that correct? This is the cross-examination. He helped with the connection to save Monica's money. So they're saying, like, if you didn't like Monica so much, like, what were you doing? Like, all this stuff. He's just like, I was trying to save her money and help her, like getting that table at the strip club. But then she ended up buying that bottle. And they said, well, you left before, so how do you know Monica paid for that bill? And he said, well, because I checked with the manager. He said, I follow up because his reputation is important to him. And, I want to know that she paid, and that's how I found out. And they said, well, if your reputation is important to you, why did you plan a birthday party for Rob if her behavior was embarrassing? And he said he was doing it for Rob. And actually, he said his wife didn't even want to do it. But then they said, well, you yourself reached out to Monica, correct? Yes. You knew Robert's history in porn? Yes. And he said, when I met Rob, he was very different than anyone in the industry. I never saw him fight, never saw him do drugs or drink. But you called him a womanizer, they said. And he was like, well, he would talk and do things with women, which when him and Tracy, that was the other wife that Rob's, were no longer together. And they said in the conversation in February, isn't it Robert that said Monica was going to open salons? He said, no, I never knew she was in the salon business at all. And then the next witness was Caesar Avinas, I think this was from the Ford dealership. Okay, so these were the people that couldn't recognize Monica. So back in 2017, were you employed with a dealership for Ford in Thousand Oaks? Yes. Do you know Monica Sementilli? Yes. Do you see her in court? He said no. He wasn't 100% sure because she looks very different. Did you meet someone called Fabio Sementilli? Yes, he said. They ID'd Fabio with a photo. This man, Caesar, is the finance manager at the dealership at that time. He would go over contracts and get them signed. Did you handle paperwork for the lease of Fabio's truck? He said yes. After her husband's murder, Gail Birmingham, she was one of somebody in sales, and she only worked there for like 5 months. But she brought Monica to him to talk about trading in her husband's truck. Monica was crying, he said, and said that her husband had been killed inside the vehicle on her property. And because he was murdered in it, she was not comfortable in it anymore. She said Fabio was killed in the truck. Did she mention anything with respect to price? No. This meeting was 30 to 40 minutes, he confirmed. Did you offer to do that for her? that I told her she could trade it in and purchase another vehicle. Okay, you would assist her with a new car if she needed that. Yes. During the meeting, did she use her phone? And he said yes. During the meeting, she used her phone about 3 to 4 times, and I heard a male on the other end of the line. Let's see. Did she return the truck that day? No. Did she leave in the truck? Yes. Did she return a few days later? Yes. Did she say she wanted to return the truck and purchase a new vehicle? Yeah. The behavior was the same? No. Her conduct this time was very jovial. She was smiling. There was only a couple months on the lease left, and they worked it out so that she wouldn't even have to pay those months, and she could just turn it in, okay, for the remainder, and she would be no charge. So she wanted to purchase a new vehicle. What vehicle? A Ford Mustang GT, and there was a sales contract admitted into evidence. It has every option available. Yes. Did Monica conduct negotiations with you on price? No. Did you discuss the options and the prices? And he said yes. Did she get all available options? Yes. Did that increase the base price? Yes, by $6,000 to $7,000. Did it include the prepaid maintenance contract? Yes. Did she call anyone during this? He said yes. How long was your conversation? 30 to 45 minutes. And how many calls? 2 to 3. Was there a male voice? Yes. Did the male companion show up? He said yes, but he didn't see him until Gail told him. The end price for the Mustang was $62,271. And let's see. And then Gail Burlingame, she's retired now. They're like, okay, well, what did you do before that? I was a consultant teacher. What did you do before that? Oh, I was a flight attendant. What did you do before that? Oh, I sold cars for 5.5 months in Thousands Oaks. So she sold a vehicle. Did you sell a vehicle to Monica Sementilli? They told her. She looked for her. Do you recognize? You couldn't find her either. And she said, oh, you look different. You got bangs. Do you remember conversations? Yes. She said, why? Because I felt bad for her. It was an emotional connection. I wanted to help her. Did you receive a call in February of 2017? She said yes. And it was from Monica, and she was worried that they had a truck lease coming due. She wanted to talk about it and how she could keep it. It was in her husband's name. It was a 2013 F-150 truck. Did they mention anything about her daughters? And she said, well, she was saying, oh, this truck is so very important to my daughters. They want to keep this truck. And that was the whole thing first. And then she said that she didn't have any money. She had to wait till she got money. She told her about insurance and stuff like that, and that they were having to do stuff. She was really worried. And she said that she was waiting on the life insurance policy. They said, did she tell you that she did not have a job? Yes. That things were tough? Yes. That she was desperate? Yes. Did she say anything about an attorney? They said, yes. She said police were checking into a lot of things and that an attorney was trying to get the life insurance money. Did she tell you that she was going to Canada and would speak to you from Canada? Yes. Did she make calls to who she said was her attorney? Yes. Did it appear she was having a legal conversation about her life insurance? Not really. What about it didn't sound like an attorney, they asked. She said it was a lot of whispering and not direct questions that you would ask, and she would say she was still working on it. She called me and said she had gotten the money. This was a few days later, and that she was going to come in. She said, I got the money and we're going to figure out how to keep your truck. And then she's like, oh, no, I don't want the truck now. No, I want to get a new car. And so we're going to turn it in and get a new car. She got the money and she was happy. And after your message to her, and she said the Ford credit needed a death certificate. Okay. And then you still felt bad for her. Yes, she told you that her husband had been murdered. Second time you met with her, yes. Did she make a call and say she wanted a friend to come in and assist her? Yes. She wanted them to drive, and her friend Robert came in. So Robert came in, and he started telling this sales lady that he was a cop in New Orleans. And she's like, oh, really? You're a cop in New Orleans? And this guy, not too smart, okay? He lies about something that he has no knowledge of. So she knows people in New Orleans, and she knows cops there, and she know New Orleans, Louisiana, they have parishes, right? That's the parish. She's like, what parish did you work for? He didn't even know what she was talking about. And he's like, here and there, everything. Like, it was just, she said she knew he was lying. And so Robert told her he was a cop in New Orleans, but when she asked him questions, she knew it was a lie. He said he was in between now, because she said, oh, are you working as a cop over here? No, I'm actually in between doing some security work. And Monica kept saying, please drive. It's going to be your car. Now, at that point, there was a conversation that was going back and forth, and Monica was trying to get Robert Baker to drive the car, and she said yes. And then they asked the saleswoman, did you encourage him to drive it? And she said, yeah, it was important to Monica. So I just stood up and said, good, he's going to go drive the car. And she said he needed to give his license, and then he just sat back down when they said he needed to give his license. And it was obvious he did not want to give his license. And after that, it did appear that she was prodding him to get him to do what she wanted him to do. And then they said, did you suggest that all three of you go for a ride and Monica drive? And she said yes. And Monica and Baker got in the front, and she said she sat in the back of the sardine can, because the back of a Mustang, right? So she said she got pushed to the back and sat in the sardine can. And then she mentioned Thelma and Louise when they were taking their test drive. So when she went to thank her for buying the car, she sent her a Thelma and Louise card. She did not normally do that, but because Monica mentioned that, she just thought it was funny. Okay, we did that already. Okay, and then there was a guy that came in after that. He ran a strip club, and Robert was a manager of porn stars when they met in July of 1997. They played racquetball. Like, what is all this racquetball? That is so, 1980, 1979. That's crazy. They played racquetball and chess. They played at LA Fitness in Reseda and in North Hollywood and in Granada Hills. Did you ever go to LA Fitness in Woodland Hills? They asked him. No. Are you still a friend of Robert Baker? Yes. You have phone calls with him while in jail? He said no. He said in the beginning, but lately only a few. He used to go visit him. About 10 or more times he's visited him. Last time you spoke to Baker, he said, was last year sometime. Back in 2017, January, February, were you living in this apartment complex, the one they showed him, Yes. During that time, did Robert Baker come to visit you? He said yes, he did, just before Valentine's Day. And he said, I'm not sure of the day, but I know that he just showed up there. He didn't even call first. And when he saw me, he said, wow, you don't look good. And this guy said his mother had just died. And then Robert said, well, then I'm going to stay because you don't look good. And I want to make sure you're okay. So they said the initial visit, he did not call first. No. Did he tell you about a murder? No. Did he tell you that he was dating anyone else? And this guy said, I already knew he was. Okay. When did you know? He said, I knew 2016. He brought her to my birthday party at Casa Grande in Granada Hills. And then he said, who did he bring? He goes, you want her real name or the name I knew her by? They said, the name you knew her by. He said, I knew her by Madonna. And then he identifies Monica Baker as Madonna. He said Baker introduced Monica as Madonna. Did she object to that? No. Okay. So during... he was dating then at your birthday until he came to your house. Oh, they said, how many times did they come between when he brought her to the birthday until February? And he said they didn't come. That was it when he came by. Okay, before that, he never brought her there. Correct. And then it says he took Baker to a Starbucks to meet Madonna once. And they asked, do you live in a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom apartment? And he said a 1-bedroom. And they said, where did Robert sleep when he stayed at your apartment? On the couch. Was there anything unusual when Monica came? No, he said. You don't know what time she left? No. You woke up in the morning and she was gone? Yes. He was driving a Ford Expedition? Yes. He parked in your garage parking? Your parking garage? Yes. He stayed for several days? Yes. Do you know if he had another place to stay? Yes, he did. Have you ever been there before? He said, after the arrest, not before. When he left, did he tell you he was going after his arrest? Him and a friend went to get some of his items because so he said he went to Robert Baker's with a friend because they went to get some of his items because his room was going to be rented again and he was in jail, right? The other guy you went with, who was it? He's like, do I have to say? It was somebody called Howard Lynch. They showed a photo. How do you know Howard? He said, we were good friends. We played basketball. Was he friends with Baker? Yes. He's an attorney? Yes, he says. Did you see him after he left your apartment in February of 2017? And this guy said, I assume so, but I cannot remember. Why do you assume so? They asked him. And he said, because we were good friends. And that's where we are with that right now. So that is that trial. So now, let me see here. Robert Ball called. What? The woman Monica is delusional. All right, so I don't know how many are you watching this. I don't even think Scooter's watching this trial anymore. She never watches the trials that I watch. She watches. If I'm gonna psych her out, tell her I'm watching something that I'm not, and then watch something else and we'll end up watching the same thing because she wants to watch whatever I'm not watching. It's very odd. There's probably something in the physician's desk reference about that. Anyway, yeah, that's what we have there. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, a popular lemonade drink has been recalled for cancer-linked chemical. What is it? Where is it from? Beverage Base Lemonade 3-gallon. Beverage Base. It's distributed in Arkansas. It's distributed in California, Colorado, Kentucky, Missouri, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. If you're in any of those states, you better watch out. Let's see. Though approved by the Food and Drug Administration for regulated use, concerns have been raised about its potential health effects. So you're talking about yellow number 5, also known as tartrazine. And it's a petroleum-derived food coloring commonly used in processed foods, cosmetics, and pharmaceuticals. So, yeah. Let me see here. New sinkhole discovered on I-80 in New Jersey. What's that about? Hang on. Oh boy, hold on a minute. We got some stuff to talk about here. Okay, Warrenton, New Jersey, I-80. A new sinkhole has been discovered. Hang on. There's a sinkhole keeping I-80 eastbound in Warrenton, New Jersey shut, and here's what experts think caused it. They think the opening is just 75 feet from another sinkhole that closed I-80 in December. Officials are blaming abandoned mine shafts that have collapsed. What really causes these sinkholes to open up after such a long amount of time is water. The College of New Jersey Civil Engineering professor Andrew Betchel said, water probably caused the first sinkhole to collapse when they filled it. And they changed how water moves under I-80. They're probably developing a new one in a different place. So the realistic problem is to figure out where all these old mines go, and then to fill and cap them and rebuild the road on top. The recurring sinkholes are causing anxiety for some drivers. The underground is like Swiss cheese. So I guess there's a bunch of landmines that just weren't filled in properly, and they just keep collapsing in on themselves, said the Jefferson Township resident Jairus Cook. I mean, it's scary. It's pretty scary, you know, to think that the ground could just come undone underneath your feet at any moment. The eastbound closure is causing traffic to back up for miles, and it's hurting some local businesses. Okay. There was something else I was looking at about people dying in this tourist destination. Right here. Where is this? If you're planning a trip, then you probably should be aware of a travel warning for one popular travel destination in the Caribbean. 4 Americans have died in a week at the popular destination of Belize. Really? Remember Belize? Seriously? What's up with that? Why are they dying in Belize? Let's see what happened. Don't let the tropical locals fool you. The country has a hidden dark side. The U.S. Department of State has labeled the country as a level 2 travel advisory. They say the tourists should exercise increased caution. Meanwhile, the country's largest city, Belize City, has been ranked up to a level 3 due to crime. And they say that reconsider travel due to crime. The organization wrote violent crimes such as SA, home invasions, armed robberies, and murder are common even during the day and in tourist areas. A significant portion of violent crime is gang-related. Due to high crime, travelers are advised to exercise caution while traveling to the south side of Belize City. Local police lack the resources and training to respond effectively to serious crimes. Most crimes remain unresolved and unprosecuted. For Belize City, it writes, U.S. citizens should avoid traveling to Belize City. Historically, much of the violent crime in Belize occurs in the south side of Belize City and is gang-related. Deaths at the travel destination. The popular travel destination has had a deadly week for sure. 3 women and 1 man died at the beach resort. Hotel staff found them dead in their hotel room, suggesting they overdosed, but their families disagree with the ruling. Likewise, no drugs were found at the hotel room. Meanwhile, a Colorado developer, Boris Mansfield, was found dead on Friday. They believe that his death was possibly a hit. It's just one in the latest strings of death at the popular destination. In 2022, a nursing student died after getting shot in Belize. In 2019, a cardiologist was also murdered while fly fishing on a boat. If you're planning on visiting the country, be aware of your surroundings and practice proper precautions. Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, look at this. You can get a tiny house on Amazon. Look at this. Look at this. It looks super duper tiny. I don't even know how you could live there. It does looks like a it looks like a waiting room. It says let's see. This is, oh, it's a garden house kit. That makes more sense. Garden house doesn't really. Let's see. It's $9,999 for the garden house. So it doesn't look that big, but that's really not a tiny house. I don't even see a kitchen or anything else in there. It looks like a she shed, right? It looks like a she shed. Just a she shed. They have these greenhouses. It's amazing what they're selling here on Amazon. Okay, let's go back. All right. Oh, Michelle Trachtenberg, 39, has died from Muffy Vampire Slayer, just so you know. Let's see what else we have going on. Malware exposes 3.9 billion passwords in a huge cyber security threat. A wind turbine collapsed in Oklahoma. The CDC is warning that this flu season is on track. Well, for one of the worst, yeah, I know this because I talked to my daughter and she had this horrendous cough too. I thought, wow, yeah, it was just, she's had to use an inhaler. And she had the flu shot and everything too. So it's like, why is the CDC, it says warning that this flu season is on track to be one of the worst. But it is. And they say it's terrible. CDC has said there has been at least 33,000 cases. No, hold on a minute. That wasn't 33,000. I think that was 300. Let me say what that was. 33 million. There's been 19,000 deaths. And there's been 33 million cases, 430,000 hospitalizations, 19,000 deaths. Yeah. Flu season surge. So I wonder what is the reason there. What happened? The surge means, let's see. This is a bad year, no doubt about it, but the big picture is tens of millions of people get the flu every year, and there's a lot of variation anywhere. According to the CDC, 9 to 40 million people get the flu every year. But here you have 6,000 to 50,000 people die every year. It's a brutal flu season. It's put the strain on doctors. FDA approves an at-home flu vaccine. Wow. We're going to give it to ourselves now? Okay. Let's see. Dead geese in 2 New Jersey counties test positive for bird flu. Let's see what we got here. All right. I don't see too much there, so let's do something else. That's enough news. That's enough news, huh? In a sinkhole that freaks you out. Yeah. Sinkholes are freaky. They are freaky. Okay, we're going to do something else now. Hold on. Let me just get my bearings here. I've got to blow my nose. Hold on a minute. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Here I am. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to find one I want to show you. Oh, let's look at this. Want to see a fairy tale tutor? A fairy tale tutor? Let's look at it. It looks like the one from the show Family almost. Do you remember the show Family? Okay. Okay. And I'm going to tell you about it, okay? It's in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So I'm going to pull it over. Playing the real estate game if you're brand new here. I'm going to show you a house. You're going to look at it and you're going to come up with a number. I'm going to see if you're right. Let me tell you a little bit about it though. Some homes are truly one of a kind. This house in Chapel Hill tugs at the heartstrings like a fairy tale setting and affords the ease of contemporary living. Comfortable elegance greets you at every turn. Expert design elements from a seamless bridge between modern convenience and the authentic charm of yesteryear, with enhancements that allow for free-flowing entertainment and easy-going quiet time. This piece of Chapel Hill history could be your new home, complete with a high degree of coveted in-town privacy, offering the promise of a morning cup of coffee or calming evening beverage on the expansive covered porch overlooking mature and lovingly curated landscaping. An outbuilding that currently serves as a garden shed offers the possibilities of a studio or a guest cottage. Welcome home, folks. Okay, let's check it out. Doesn't it almost look like that family house with the... Just, I don't know, it just reminds me of that. Okay. Oh, look at those. I have those trees like that. Oh, I like the drawers in the wall. I thought it's nice. Very nicely decorated. Look at those. I like that. I like that fabric on that chair. It's neat. Okay, what do you think that is in Chapel Hill, North Carolina? Let me tell you how much land it has. Hang on. It has... It was built in 1925. It's on 0.23 acres. It has 4 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, and 3,031 square feet. So go on ahead. And I'm going to go back over there and see if you've got this. You got this, girl. Maybe not, maybe. Autocorrect is stressing you out. Gail B says 245,000. Gail B says it is kind of cute. Kind of. Where's all our other real estate people? Real estate people, come along. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes to get some things in here. Where's our people? Where's our real people? Elm went to sleep, I know that. Told you, Gail. Hello, Christy? Who's Christy? Who's that, Sassy? I'm lost. Carolina? I don't know what Sassy's saying. You made a cold coffee? All right, no one's going to play with us. That's fine. That's fine. Is 2 million. 2 million, what did I say, 100,000? Yep. 2,100,000. Take you to another place in North Carolina. Mocksville. Have you ever heard of Mocksville, North Carolina? I never heard, but I hope they don't mock you there. We're going to see this house. I'll tell you a little bit about it. Okay? If you're looking for stately charm and modern comfort, this 1902 beauty in downtown Mocksville is called the Philip Haynes House. It sits on 4.5 acres of manicured parkland on historic Main Street. It's a quick walk downtown to shops, dining, yoga studios. It's a 20-minute downtown drive to downtown WS, which is Winston-Salem. The house has complete privacy, but it's a short walk to the schools, the library, and the Rich Park playgrounds, wooded trails, and a creek. Only 5 owners in 120 years. Lovingly maintained with modern upgrades, original details intact, wraparound porch and impressive front hallway welcomes visitors with original wood paneling and stunning 2-story staircase. There's 12 fireplaces, 2 of which are decorated with Italian tiles and original hand-carved wood mantels. Spacious gathering in the parlor, TV room, and library while enjoying privacy in the upstairs bedrooms. The upstairs ceilings have original beadboard, and much of the original decorative plasterwork remains. The Philip Haynes House is an impressive work of art and a unique part of the Triad's history. Let's take a look. A lot of little outbuildings, huh? Look at that. I feel like that was on this property. Look at that. Those cozy chairs. We used to have those, I think. And I know those handles on those, and they like rock a little bit. It's interesting. My grandmother had those or something. That looks like Cracker Barrel wall. Look at that. That looks like a Cracker Barrel wall. I like that a lot. That's what I told Jimmy. We should just put everything up on one of these walls, like down our basement, like everything we have, like all our little knickknacks there. That is so cute. I want to take a picture of that. That is a total Cracker Barrel wall. Okay, how much do you think that one is? 4.5 acres. Let's see. You say you want that house with a lift. Well, you said it's 2 million, and I think you and I are the only ones playing here. 800 and what did I say? 50,000. So yeah, 850,000. $850,000. All right, so I think we're gonna play word cookies and call it a night. Can't get any respect here. Gail, I can't get it. I don't know what's wrong. All right, let me get the word cookies. Daily puzzle. Daily puzzle. Justify. Hold on. Justify. Justify. Just. Fist. Okay. Fit. Fits. Sit, jut, juts, okay. All right. All right, and then the last one. Okay, let's see. Huh. Let's see. What could this be? What could this be? Hey. Hey. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Anyone bothering you? Where's little girl? Where's little girl, Jesse? Lulu. Where's Where did you go? She came up. Lily. What is Lily doing? Okay, I'm back. Sorry. What happened? How did I finish this? I didn't finish this. I don't even know what just happened. How did I get to the... I didn't finish the last word. Did somehow I just got it without even knowing that I got it? What was it? I gotta go back here and look. Let me see, I gotta play this. F-U-S-T-Y. Oh my gosh. I didn't even realize I got it. Do you know that? I didn't even realize that. I did, I got it. Okay. It was fusty. That was crazy. Okay. Well, well. Well, well. Hi, Murder Crows. Thanks for coming in. Let's see what you got there, Murder Crows. Let's see. Because you will play with us. Relief. Oh, that's good. Yep, that's good. Relief. And then what's the other one you have is flyer. That's good. Wonderful. And then let's see what you have. Something else. I tried lifer. I tried that, see? What do I have to do here? Murder Crows, what do I have to do? Oh, rifle. Yay! Very good, thank you. Remixing? No, I can't do that. Can I? Oh, you're right. Yay! Oh, we have 8 letters here. I don't know if that's the first time, but mini go. Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work, right, Murder Crows? We got it. Okay. Gin, yeah, Gin is always there. Did you know that? It always is. Grimm, the brothers Grimm. Yeah. Okay. Did I do ire? I did, right? Okay, let me see. What do you got? Anything? Mixer? Oh, mixer. Very good. A minx? I was thinking of that. Mixing? we got to do mix first, and then we can do mixer. And mixing. Very good. Men mix, men mix. Yeah. I'll merge, no. I tried Gemini TD. Hi TDB84, I tried Gemini. It didn't work. Look, it's an extra word. Oh, ring. That's a good one. Oh, rain. You got rain, yep. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, yeah. Every time there's that rain, there's always that one, too. Let's see. Meyer. Oh, yes, Meyer. Now one more, let's see. Re No. M-E. That's not what I said. Huh. Huh. Can't think of this one. I don't know, Bink. Where were you? I was calling you. You left me too. You all left me. I'm getting a big complex, Bink. It's not right. Do you know we were playing the real estate game? And it was Gail and I playing the real estate game. It's very, very mean. It's very mean, Bink. Got my feelings hurt. It's very mean. You just left the panel. I tried to get a hold of you. I couldn't. Scooter left too. What do you think this is, Murder of Crows? What do you think this is? Well, you haven't been talking yet, Spink, and that's not been nice. Okay, now let's see what we're going to do here. We need to do something. What do you think this is, Murder of Crows? Oh, I forgot to talk about Donna Adelson. Oh my gosh, I've got to talk about Donna Adelson. I don't want clickbait. Listen, I've got to talk about Donna Adelson. So sorry. We got to put Donna Adelson up here for a minute. So Donna Adelson. Remember I was reading the papers about Donna Adelson? And she was breathing like really funny, and they said that everybody was asking her. She was doing it. She was doing it on the stand today. Hold on, she was doing it on the stand today. She was, oh my goodness, it was really something. She was doing it on the stand today. Oh, did I almost forget Donna Adelson? That would have been clickbait, and we can't have clickbait. Okay, so Donna Adelson appeared in court with the hopes of being released on bond. She's 75 years old, and her attorneys, Josh Zellman and Jackie Fulford of Tallahassee, wrote that motion that I read to you guys last night, right? That she has been physically abused and extorted at the Leon County Detention Facility, and it's resulted in her inability to receive a fair trial. She's unable to meet with her lawyer. She's got people eavesdropping, all this stuff, right? She's being held without bond on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy, and solicitation. And now normally defendants charged with that kind of stuff are not allowed bond. But Adelson's attorneys were arguing to throw out the potential key evidence, namely a jailhouse phone call with her son. Now, you remember when she was on the phone with Charlie after his conviction, and then the phone didn't hang up properly, and she just started talking. She started talking about the possibility of killing herself or fleeing overseas, and then less than a week later, she was arrested on murder charges while trying to board a flight out of Miami to Vietnam with her husband, Harvey Adelson. They had one-way tickets to Vietnam. Jackie Fulford said nobody is complaining that Donna Adelson is getting food she doesn't like, but if she remains in the jail, they cannot properly prepare for trial. She is on trial for her life in a town where everyone believes she is guilty. We cannot prepare for trial under these circumstances. She argued that Adelson surrendered her passport, she doesn't have a visa, and she's put on a no travel list, and the state has absolutely zero evidence to prove that she was fleeing the country at the time of her arrest. Are you kidding me? One-way tickets to Vietnam? The one thing the state fails to remember is she's presumed innocent, Fulford said. She's being punished at this point. I agree that the state has not met its burden, Fulford said in closing. I'd argue that the state has not met its burden, she said in closing. Assistant State Attorney Sarah Duggan walked the court through a list of evidence and argued why Donna Adelson should remain in jail till the trial. She said she is safe there and will guarantee her presence at trial. She wasn't charged with first-degree murder when she tried to leave the country. I think she's a flight risk now more than ever. She said that Adelson has received medical attention faster than most people do who aren't incarcerated. All her basic needs are met and will continue to be met. She is in jail. It's not the Four Seasons. Assistant State Attorney Sarah Duggan and Chelsea Wilson, a criminal investigator for Leon County Detention Facility, who investigated the incident where Donna Adelson was forced to buy commissary items for another inmate, testified. Wilson said that Adelson never revealed the name of the inmate who assaulted her and that it was a one-time incident. She said Adelson told her she felt safer in protective custody and had an easier time reviewing her case. Lieutenant Robert Collins, a corrections officer at the jail, took the stand next. Collins said he's aware of only 2 incidents reported this month involving Adelson's claims about being extorted. He said that when the staff learns of such situations, they typically separate the 2 inmates. The state cross-examined Donna Adelson. Assistant State Attorney Sarah Duggan asked if the woman who touched Donna Adelson in the shower was still in the jail with her. Adelson said no. Duggan then asked her about the girl who was forcing her to buy her commissary items, to which Adelson responded saying she had half a dozen girls who came to me. Moving on, Duggan said she asked Adelson about her leg and arm pain. Duggan showed her medical records that show her pain was noted as being mild, but Adelson said she never said that. No way is that pain mild, she said. Duggan later asked Adelson what she was trying to get to the airport for at the time of her arrest. Hold on. Adelson said she couldn't think straight after Charlie Adelson's conviction. Her and her husband Harvey were shocked and traumatized, and they were looking to leave to get time to think. You were hoping to make it out of America, Duggan said. I wanted to get away. Harvey wanted to get away. Adelson said they were looking for non-extradition countries because to be able to turn themselves in on their own terms if warrants were filed for their arrests. Duggan asked if Adelson tried to leave the country to avoid being held accountable for Dan Markel's murder. I didn't do this, she said. Donna Adelson said she was showering earlier in the morning because most of the women at the jail aren't around, so she gets privacy. Out of nowhere, she felt a hand go up her back. I yelled, "Stop it!" she said, holding back tears. The girl said, "You like it?" She said, "I started to scream and she ran." Another incident occurred when she was brushing her teeth one day. A woman grabbed and twisted her arm behind her back and said, "Unless you want these pretty white teeth knocked out of your mouth, you're going to buy me commissary." Adelson said, as she wiped away her tears, that she didn't want to tell anyone about the incident because she's afraid of her. She's seen what happens to snitches. They get stitches. Each week, Adelson spends $40 a week on commissary to buy food, mostly protein, she said, but the woman forcing her to buy commissary items for her wanted packages that cost more. The only time she would approach me is in the bathroom. Adelson said the woman would ask her would tell her what she wanted each week, and Adelson would then call her husband Harvey to order more food, not mentioning that it was for another person, to keep her away from the woman. Adelson was put in protective custody. Jackie Fulford asked Adelson about her sleep and how it's been affecting her. Adelson said people are screaming, yelling, shaking the doors through the night, preventing her from sleeping. A good night of sleep is getting 3 hours, she said. Fulford asked the judge to allow her to be released on bond, where she would live with her husband in Tallahassee and wear an ankle monitor and comply with other terms of release. Yes, of course, Adelson said. Judge Fulford asked Donna Adelson to tell the court how many times she's been arrested for criminal offenses. Never, she answered. She said she's been incarcerated for 15 and a half months, 470 days, starting in solitary confinement for 50 days before she was moved to the annex. Fulford stated she started going through her medical records. Adelson described her leg and hip pain as pulling, shooting pain down my legs. She said she needs assistance from the bailiffs to walking up to the witness stand today. for the hearing. She said that she's had these pains prior to being arrested, and she's been treated for it with injections in her spine. Mike Hayden, the health service administrator at the Leon County Jail, previously testified that the jail doesn't administer special spinal injections. Since being in the jail, Adelson has requested treatment and been given Tylenol for the pain, and it doesn't relieve the pain, she said. A doctor told Adelson that a medical mattress could help, since she is essentially sleeping on metal since the mattress is so thin. A second mattress was provided by the annex's pod officer to help, but when she was moved out of the annex, the second mattress was taken away, Adelson said. I thought it was a good idea, but if you can't have it, you can't have it, Adelson said. Adelson went on to describe her shooting pains from her left shoulder down her arm. It always feels like ants are crawling on them, Adelson said of her fingers. I was assaulted by another inmate while I was here at the beginning of October. Tylenol was also provided for the pain in her arm. I asked if they could do anything for it. They said no, Tylenol. Fulford moved on to an issue with Adelson's ears, that she used to receive care for before being arrested. And she said, I had officers say to me, "Are you deaf, Adelson?" It's because I don't hear them due to the earwax that she needs removed from her ear canal. See, I knew it was earwax. Adelson said she has difficulty hearing, and her attorneys, when they visited her in jail, and called at the jail. Defense then switched gears and had Adelson start describing the cut she received while walking in the restroom and bumped into the washing machine and cut her arm pretty bad. The bleeding wouldn't stop. It was just pouring out. She used sanitary napkins to keep the wound from bleeding, and a night nurse who visited her didn't have a Band-Aid or antibiotic cream or the form she needed to fill it out and get the proper help. Later, she was seen and given a Band-Aid and antibiotic cream, but then she also asked for a tetanus shot. Fulford asked Adelson about her chest tightness and her shortness of breath, and Adelson said she's not a doctor, so she doesn't know why it's happening. I've gained more than a third of my body weight in here, she said. This diet is all carbs and no protein. Josh Zellman cited that every natural person has a right to be left alone in their private life. He cited a case involving a suspect who called a co-defendant from an interview room at a police department, and the call was recorded by equipment in the room. Circuit Judge Stephen Everett stopped him and questioned if the automated message before answering a jail call makes this point moot. She said that the man at the police station did not get a warning that the call may be recorded. Zellman and Donna Adelson hit the button to hang up during the calls in question with her son. Hold on a minute with her son. Wait a minute. This should be enough, he said. She thought she ended the call, but do you have to hit the button more than once? Everett said. The testimony is that she believes she did, Zellman said. Assistant State Attorney Sarah Dugan asked the Circuit Court Judge Stephen Everett to cite case law. Duggan said that Adelson argues she had reasonable expectation of privacy, but that would start once a person hangs up, Duggan said. The defendant is responsible for hanging up, not the state. Duggan compared the defense's claim to be similar to something a person said. They said something in the presence of a law enforcement officer, assuming the officer wasn't listening. She then presented various court cases in which defendants were inadvertently or accidentally recorded, and the evidence was allowed in. Someone does not have reasonable expectation of privacy if they fail to take simple precautions, she said. The state would ask that the defense motion be denied, she said in closing. Duggan. Assistant State Attorney Sarah Duggan asked about the automated message that is played before accepting a call from the jail. The particular call that day, you evidently didn't hang up, Duggan said. Evidently, Adelson said. Josh Zellman asked Donna Adelson if she knew if Charlie Adelson was no longer on the call on November 7th. She said no. Zellman asked if getting disconnected from her calls to Charlie while he was in jail was common. Yeah, it happens a lot, unfortunately, Donna said. Did you know at what point your son wasn't on the phone? No, she said. She said she believed the call was over, but didn't believe her conversation with Charlie or her husband, Harvey Adelson, was being recorded. Oh, Harvey came to the her hearing. Harvey came out. Let's see. Okay. Mike Hayden was called back to the stand. He said the same level of care you get in the community is what we provide. He confirmed that Donna Adelson received a Band-Aid and Neosporin for the cut, and then the one she got on the washing machine. And 7 days after the initial cut, a skin assessment was conducted, and it was found to be healing properly. She received a tetanus shot out of precaution. Jason Newland asked to return to the stand. Jason Newland confirmed that a subpoena for the records was sent to Greg Toomey. He said it's standard for the state attorney's office to provide the records to the defense. The judge, Stephen Everett, redirected back to the defense's cross-examination. Jackie Fulford began her cross-examination after objecting to the medical records. She asked Mike Hayden if he discussed the records with the state prior to stepping into the courtroom. He said he did in the hall before entering the court today. The judge stops Fulford, asking her why she's cross-examining on records she just asked to have stricken from the record. I thought you were asking me to do my cross, Judge. Then I don't want to cross until we find out about the records, because my cross is all about that. Everett stopped the cross and asked Newland to return. Assistant State Attorney Sarah Duggan asked Mike Hayden to testify. He said he's the health administrator at the Leon County Detention Facility. He explained that he's a registered nurse and the jail is able to provide basic life-saving measures because of limited resources. Hayden said some cells in the medical unit have a call button for emergency requests. Otherwise, inmates fill out the request forms to receive medical attention. If it's not something that the staff can treat, they will take her to the hospital If it's not something that the staff can treat, will they take her to the hospital to treat the necessity? Duggan said, yes, Hayden answered. A chest x-ray showed that Adelson's lungs were clear after she complained of shortness of breath. She received a prescription for breathing treatment. Jackie Fulford objected to the witness testimony, saying that there's questions if the state lawfully received Adelson's medical records, and said it was clear that the state has had conversations with Hayden about the records. The judge made Hayden step down while they called Jason Newland back to determine how the records were obtained, but Hayden was brought back to finish his testimony. Duggan said, why does the jail not prescribe narcotic medication? And he said it's a currency and it's highly abused in jails. Assistant State Attorney Sarah Duggan asked Jason Newland if he has an automatic message telling users they have to hang up to stop the recording. Newland confirmed. He said while Charlie Adelson was in the Leon County Detention Center, thousands of calls were made between him and his mother. Does Donna Adelson properly hang those calls up? Yes, Newland said. If Donna Adelson properly hung up would the recording have stopped? Yes, Newland said. Have you ever had a call with a friend when all of a sudden you can't hear a person? Duggan said. Yes, Newland said. Would you then need to hang up the phone to ensure that the other person wasn't hearing your conversation throughout the day? Yes, Newland said. Zellman redirects and asks Newland, is there any phrase about a non-extraditing country? Newland said he'd have to listen to the recording again, but he knew that there was no indication of coming back when Adelson said that she'd have to tell Wendy Adelson, her daughter, that they were leaving. The second recording also began with an automated message alerting users that the call wasn't private. Donna Adelson is heard crying on the phone as she talks to her son, Charlie Adelson, asking if there's anything else they could do. "Can you hear me?" Donna asked nearly an hour into the call. "Charlie!" In a third recording, Donna mentions needing to leave the country. "They're not recording my phone," she said at one point. The call that Charlie Adelson made went to his mother's cell phone, Zellman said. "When a call drops, it's because it's a number of issues like the tower, battery, or the person on the other end hangs up," he added. Jason Newland agrees. "Usually when the call fails, you get a beep beep and it's done. You've been on the phone talking and you're still talking if you didn't realize you've been disconnected." "Yes," Newland says. Josh Zellman asked Jason Newland about what has been dubbed the open line call. And then this happened on November 7th of 2023. On that call, Donna Adelson kept talking on a recorded line even after her son, Charlie Adelson, left the conversation. A recording of the call was played and an automated message is heard saying this is not a private call and that all parties on the call will be recorded before the mother and son are connected. "Can you hear me, Charlie?" Donna is heard saying at the end of the call. At that point, 8 minutes into the call, it's clear Donna realizes he's no longer on the call. Charlie attempts to call his mother back 6 times after the original call got disconnected. The attempts were unsuccessful. "It is because her PIN was already in use," Zellman and Newland said. "I don't know," Newland answered. Judge Everett takes motion to suppress evidence first. The judge started the hearing, choosing to take up Donna Adelson's suppression motion first. Adelson, who was in shackles and a purple jail jumpsuit, appears to be trembling and holding back tears. Jason Newland, an investigator with the state attorney's office, was called to the witness stand first. Josh Zellman, one of Donna's attorneys, questioned Newland about Securus, the company contracted to provide the communication services to prisons, and how it makes recordings. The state called 5 witnesses. There are 5 people on the state's witness list who could be called to testify, including Leon County Sheriff's deputies and correctional officers, a jail, healthcare provider, and an attorney. The witnesses are Deidre Bateman, Robert Collins, Greg Toomey, Chelsea Wilson, and Mike Hayden. Toomey is an attorney who has represented LCSO in several cases and has testified at previous hearings in Adelson's case regarding her jail treatment in jail. Donna Adelson is charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy, solicitation in the 2014 shooting death of Markel. Her former son-in-law, Markel, a Florida State law professor, was murdered in the midst of a bitter custody battle with his ex-wife, Wendy Adelson, who's Donna's daughter and Charlie Adelson's sister. Charlie Adelson was one of the 2 hitmen. Charlie Adelson, one of the 2 hitmen, and an accomplice are all serving life. The other hired hitman cooperated and got 19 years. Okay, so we'll see what's going on with that. But, yeah, that's good that wasn't clickbait. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Hi, Brenda P. How are you? Donna says, "I didn't even hear there was a party, and now I can't hear it." Yeah, she will get a Dora the Explorer Band-Aid. Huh. Very funny. Okay. Imogene? don't know. I'll receive. Very good, Brenda. No, we can't. There's not another A. The real. Oh, no. Mingier. Hold on a minute. Very good, Murder of Crows. Good job. Good job, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it very much. You did it, Murder of Crows. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you'd like to become a member, that would be great. If you'd like to upgrade your membership, that would be great. If you'd like to leave a super chat, if you'd like to leave a super thanks afterwards, if you'd like to donate to the legal fund, all of that would be great. We appreciate you very much. Come to the auctions, help support the channel. We have a trial that's upcoming. I hate to say this more than I do, but I'm sorry. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Everybody be good. Thank you so much.